On this edition of Beer 30, we get an inside look and the progress of the Main and Mill Brewing Company in Festus, Missouri, with the owner, Denny Foster.
We're standing right here. We just took that out yesterday. That stairway is extending all the way, so we ended up putting a header so we could have more walk-through space. To open it up. But we're standing like right here, kind of on the outside. Where this side's going to be tall booths, like actually with like a hallway thing. It'll be the same thing on that one. Booths across the window there, a couple of two-person seats in between, and there'll be a bar in front of the brewery. So that big foundation right there that we poured, that's going to be the baseline of the brewery. So they'll have, in there we'll have 6 fermenters, our brew system, a cold liquor tank, and a hot liquor tank between what's in there and the build-on that we're doing in the back.
So the bar will come out to, what about here?
Yeah, the bar's going to come out to right here. So this will be the end of the bar. So there'll be 7 foot of walk room. This is going to get corrected, but this just happened yesterday. So, but then they'll go around, and there'll be seats here, but all the booths will be higher, so everybody's looking kind of at the same level down on the bar.
Right.
There'll be a makeshift engineered kind of long booth system across where that door is, but it's hard to explain until I can get it built. So there'll be like 90 seats down here.
Wow. What's your capacity going to be?
7 barrels, and we'll have, on a normal brew schedule, we should be able to have capacity for 1,100 barrels in a year. Which is way more than what I projected to be able to need initially. But we are landlocked because once we have it in here, we won't be able to get any more in here. So initially I had 4 fermenters coming in, and I was like, well, we'll just add 2 whenever we need them, and we'll have room for them. And I was looking, and we did this build on, and it's like, not possible. Can't do it. Can't put them in the crane, and you can't put them through the build on. So we had to budget in 2 more to go to capacity. So once we're 1,100 is like it. We can't do any more. So once that's we'll have 4 here. We'll have a build on. We'll have 4 fermenters in the front. This is all going to be glassed in with the bar in front, with lights on actual tanks, and then the brew system will be like against that wall back there, which we're going to be looking at. And then from about where the wall starts getting disgusting, all the way over, we're taking that brick out. So kitchen, more brewery, and then on the other side where the wall's there, there's our bathrooms through the hallway. So in the middle of the yeah, so once we open, we're going to be totally at capacity. And I say 1,100 barrels, but we could actually do more because we're going to have so much barrel room space. So, I mean, that's on a 14-day brew schedule. So some brews we're going to do are going to want to sit for 28 days. Others, if I want, I could do 10 days and feel pretty good about it, depending on how the fermentation went. So we have to replace some joists up here in the next week. The ones that are kind of bashed in right now, they're all getting replaced. We're putting new ones in to fix our floor upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
So
You've had to do a lot of like shoring up the building.
Oh yeah, this building was a really bad shell.
Right, it was all framed out too.
Yeah,
you ripped out all kinds of framing and.
Oh yeah, this was split. This was two things. So this was a home improvement store, and this was a jewelry store, and there was a bathroom right here. And the beam that was supporting the entire building was broken in half, and some genius decided to put a 2x12 and put a bolt on each side against the main broken beam. So everything was collapsing. The structural guy said that he didn't think this building would have lasted another year.
So you're gonna all that's gonna be like exposed and everything, or
So all of the ceiling here, whenever we get it all fixed and clean, we're gonna paint it black. It's all gonna be exposed. We're gonna wrap all these beams, all this stuff right here, these 5 things right there, and then this big thing. These are all temporary.
Oh, okay.
So these are just kind of right now to keep supporting the joists until we take it out.
Yeah.
So those are all temp, and this one's actually, everything else is pretty much staying. So these 5 things are gone. This is staying. This is gone. Everything else is permanent. So we'll wrap them so they all look cohesive in like one big line of beams, and paint this whole top, and then and then the bar will go around, like I said. So we'll have, like I said, probably 80 to 90 seats down here. About 80 seats upstairs. So this will be the main restaurant. So we'll have the bar, but this is going to be more of a full menu. Upstairs will be a smaller menu, more of a bar, tap room, And then there'll be a patio out back here that's gonna seat like 20 that's gonna be uncovered, and then that deck will be all covered. So between this and then we're gonna have a grass area that's gonna be flat that we're gonna have tents on for events and a privacy fence. So like on our opening weekend, we could have 500 people here.
Wow. No, we're gonna.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna be packed for a while, then.
So we're gonna end up having to still clean. We've already cleaned the brick like 6 times, but we gotta clean it one more time and seal it before we do anything else. But we spent 3 months cleaning brick on the inside, another month cleaning the outside. We did that all. We've done it all by hand. So it's been. And we dug out the basement.
What are you gonna do for flooring? Are you gonna leave what's here? Or?
We're gonna see. This side's pretty good. We still have to. We have to obviously sand it and get some of the nails and stuff out. So about right around in here is where it starts getting dicey. Over here was already an overlay on something, so we're gonna see if we can't reuse it and then taper it in. But if we can't, we might have to just do new pine and just. It's just as much as we're gonna use as much as we possibly can that's easily used.
Right.
Now that's the plan. We're gonna have all wood floors in here, upstairs and down.
Is this stairway going to stay like this, where it's a different entrance, or will you be able to get up there from like down here?
We're gonna cut an opening on the other side, and there'll still be an entrance, so you can come in here. The main idea is like when we're packed, which I hope is about every night, if there's a wait, it's not a big deal. You can go upstairs, have a drink and an appetizer, and then have a pager and come straight downstairs and be able to eat here and go right back up to have a couple more drinks afterwards. So that's gonna be open on the side and open in the front. So people that don't want to come in and eat, they don't have to go through the whole restaurant. They just come straight up through the stairs. So we'll have 2 entry and exits, and then this will be a door, and we're going to block this in. And then we're going to make some like holes on this whole thing, all the way across, or some sort, and have like that'll be where we have our t-shirts and glasses and all that kind of lit up. So, and then we just built these stairs today. You want to see downstairs? Came up with an idea. Whenever like I wanted to do this, I had an idea and a vision of how this is all going to go, name and everything. Then it's like, no, that's not going to work. Spend all this time trying to figure it out, and then it always circles back, and it's the idea that we ended up having initially. So far, that's the name, the idea of some of the floor plan ideas, the black front, which we're still doing an accent color on that, and we're still having a kick plate design and some other stuff, but still it's all coming back. So this was all, you can kind of see on the wall there how high the dirt was in here, and we hand dug that and carried it out with 5-gallon buckets.
Wow.
So that was
That's
well, the 2 piles out there were from the basement, and that's packed. So it was like a walkout porch back there with all the dirt. So we were down here for a month, both sides digging this out.
Holy cow.
So, but now a 6'7" person can fit, through this. We're replacing these. See, those are new. These are all coming out tomorrow. And those are all coming out because they're in bad shape. The other side's in good shape because it was like a King Tut's tomb in there. It wasn't accessible. This door wasn't there. To get to it, you had to go through this crawl space all the way around through a little hole in the thing, and that room wasn't accessible.
Really?
Wow. So yeah, so you can go in there and check it out. I don't know if I have a light in here. We did at one time.
This is nice.
Oh, that's neat.
Where's it at? They took it out. So
Yeah,
the idea here is we're going to do barrels all the way around to start. And then this is going to be where we'll have a membership, like private barrel tastings down here. It can't be public because of the legality of having 3 levels that are usable and we don't have an elevator.
Really?
Yeah.
For ADA?
Yeah, so we got by the city, this is all storage. So, but the idea is on all this, the leveling here, that barrels, our lighting is going to go against the barrels, and then we'll have a temporary, we can put a table that's going to be temporary that will lock into the beam and lock into a pole. And then we'll have private tastings for like 15 people down here.
Yeah, that's cool.
That would be really neat.
We're going to rebuild this, so this will be a total limestone wall all the way around. And then, so we've ended up having a lot of room down here that I didn't think we were going to have.
Yeah, this room is awesome.
So this room's going to be our main barrel room, and that room will be barrel room 2, and an office will be in the corner under the stairs for our servers and stuff for all the point of sale systems.
Is the temperature like this all the time down here?
Yeah, it's really interesting when it's like 100 degrees. You can well, now it's not as bad because there's not a hole here because this just got put there today. You could open the door and stand right there, and the cold air will go right up your pants and everything else. It's like, oh, this is nice. But so yeah, this is going to be all, like I said, private type stuff. So before we open, we're going to have events. We cut this out. That was a full wall. Wow. And then this was all rotten, and so I ended up bringing in a big sheet of steel so that will never rot again. But the main thing is we're doing it so we don't have to do it ever again.
Right,
We're doing it
yeah.
right the first
Right.
time. Yeah, we'll be able to fit probably, I'm thinking 50 barrels in both rooms total
Wow.
without stacking. And we'll be able to stack them, but I prefer not stacking.
Still set
Yeah.
for September 1st?
I don't know, I think so. It's hard, it's gonna be really tough. We got 105 days. So like, but the nice thing is the structure is done. So now right now we're cleaning that up upstairs, and then we're gonna already start fixing the floor. It'll be a couple weeks before our money gets in from the bank, but once that happens, we'll have excavating the back while we're putting the roof on, while we're building that out. Never done this, and I'm general contracting it, so I'm saying September 1st, and it might just be really not that feasible, but that's the goal.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But
You looked at putting solar panels on the roof?
yeah, we can't do it initially, but that's the plan to do it in the future.
With the headers, the beams they put in.
Yeah, oh yeah.
To support it.
Yeah, we shouldn't have any problem with the weight. So it's just a matter of when we can do stuff like that, because I want to do it even on our add-on.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have the total solar panel thing, unless we do it to where, like the front half of this, depending on how the other, like the neighbor has talked about eventually wanting out, to where we would end up buying him out for his
Oh, okay.
building if this goes really, like,
That's
he thinks,
Townsend, isn't it?
yeah, he's been super helpful. He's doing our HVAC stuff. He's mentioned it, but that's not for sure. But if that would happen, then we'd actually be able to potentially do like the front 10 feet of like a upper roof garden type thing,
Oh,
and be
cool.
able to have that sort of thing served in here. But that's
Yeah.
just like
years
about
down
some
the
of this
road.
other stuff. It's who knows and how soon it can happen. I don't know. Depends on how. If we're packed all the time, from even after we open, it happens a lot sooner.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that's the case, but
I think you're gonna pack for a while, considering all the press you're getting from the RFT and everybody up north.
Yeah.
hoping so. So it's come a long way even in the last 2 weeks, but it should, like I said, in like 3 weeks, we'll have multitudes of people and doing all this stuff.
Is that your new the front doors? Or what are
Yeah, these are the, let's see if this one can move. So these are walnut, and they're like 3.5 inches thick. So the outside, this is the inside, but the outsides right now are like a red, but they're from 1876 in Lafayette Square.
Cool.
So we've got to get some of the stuff fixed, like this is an issue. So I got to find somebody that really is confident that they can take that out, fix it, and then put it back so we have the cohesive same walnut finish. And I got to find fixtures for the actual door, the handles and stuff. But we're going to have it like with the push button thing for ADA, because they're not 36 inches wide each. But whatever. But the original place had 2 doors, so we wanted to definitely go back with the double door front.
Yeah.
It looks nicer anyway.
Yeah, no, I
Probably
agree.
But yeah, so I'll have to put new glass in it too. That glass is flimsy. But generally, they're super nice. We actually bought doors that we thought we were going to put in the front. Then we started finishing them and then didn't like them as much, so we're going to use them for the bathroom doors upstairs, I think. And they're very similar to this. And I want to do, but they're thinner and they're not as near as nice as these, but take the glass out and put the detective glass, like the old school, like green detective glass, and have it look like they're detective doors upstairs.
That'd be cool.
Just something different.
Yeah.
Something totally different. So, and then
That's
yeah.
great.
Well, and then all of our tanks are going to be in the basement of the build-on. So our tanks that are going to be serving vessels, we'll have 7 of those. So we'll have, my goal is to have 10 beers on tap all the time. One of them is going to be,
Wow.
one of them is going to be,
Those will all be yours or just
9 of them.
9 of them?
the 10th is going to be Bud Light because it's the area. So I just don't want to, like, we're also going to have wine by the glass, wine by the bottle, mixed drinks, but focusing on beer. And this area is not, it hasn't been hit with craft beer as hard. I mean, people drink craft beer like crazy here, but it isn't like the city where you can for sure get away with not having like a huge tap. So we're putting it on and not going to label it. And so when somebody gets a glass of Bud Light, they're going to get a taster of our light beer. So,
Oh, there you go.
And it's also going to be more expensive than our light beer. So it isn't going to be like, well, Bud Light's $2 a glass and our beer is $3.50 or whatever.
Right.
That's not going to happen. So I've been having to design all this stuff, like the lighting and everything, every single thing in here. I was under the impression when you started something like this that you hire somebody and they kind of tell you what well, yeah, we'll do this. And it's like, okay, great. Not so much. So everything in here, like by the end of it, whenever it's open, I've designed every single, even where the electric outlets go and how much voltage they have. So anybody comes in here and says this place looks like it's gonna immediately throw the F out. I don't get out of here. I don't want anything to do. I don't want to hear that. I've lived here all my life, so that's part of this whole thing is taking a giant risk and a leap of faith with the area, knowing that this can be supported.
Right.
Because it needs a hub, and so if we're doing it here and this is huge successful, then other people that will know that this thing can be supported. So somebody might end up putting a coffee roaster in or doing whatever because they know that the foot traffic is here and they just need to bring it down.
Yep, right.
And we're going to be working on trying to make that happen. So working with other businesses to try and kind of come as a cohesive group of Main Street, not so much a here's this business and I'm fine with just us being successful.
Right.
It's kind of the whole picture. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of we got to get this in and get it successful, get the people down here, and then start trickling it down to people that own the buildings right now, which is already happening. Talked to most of them, and they're all super excited and going to be making a bunch of enhancements with their buildings soon. But yeah, things are going really well. It still looks like so daunting to be open, and we may not make it, but till it's August 15th and we're still in bad shape, I'm still going to say.
Like you said though, the next couple steps will start quick.
It's this stuff here that takes so long because it's like sitting here and it takes a week to figure it all out.
Right.
And be like, okay, how are we going to do this? And now the really hard stuff to figure out is done. And now we've got a building that can be operable, and now we can start really, like we're just doing the floors now, and then once the floors are done, we're going to do the roof, and then we'll be able to start even making our bar tables and stuff up there, then move down here, and we'll see. The most of it, what holds people up is the details, so that's the biggest thing, is the construction. It's the details of having your point of sale system installed and having your serving machine ready and all of the logistics of your draft lines being informed. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks
No
a lot.
problem. Your member shirt will be at our first member event, which I'm hoping to have in August. So we'll open in September if all goes perfect. Then I plan on having a member event here sometime the month before. So then we'll have t-shirts to handed out there. I'm hoping to have some beer here, kind of do like a meet and greet type thing. And
Cool.
see the place.
How many members do you have so far?
51. So
So you could fill the area downstairs.
oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. We're limiting it, but I don't know what yet.
Yeah.
So I haven't decided if it's gonna be 150 or it'll be under 200, and I don't think. And then there'll be a waiting list.